Hello, Mario! Civil Engineering Detailing and Modelling, MG 6005, Session 1, Introduction / Surface. Hello, welcome to Civil Engineering Detailing and Modelling, MG 6005. In this Session 1, I'll introduce the course and start to have a look at some of the first stages of assessment. So let's get on with it. So at the moment I've just got Google up here, and I thought, well, it might be a good time just to show you how to get into Moodle. So you can go in through your Wintec, through the Wintec website, My Learning or whatever, but one of the easiest and most universal ways that we'll get in is to just go up into here, into Google, and go learning.wintec. Now you can see that once you've been in there once or twice, it remembers you, and if this is my own computer here, so it remembers you, and just go enter, and that'll get you in anywhere you're at, like so. And you may have to go through a bit of a process to sign in, through your password and your username and password to get you in. So you do need to know those. And that's it there. I'm going to stop customizing this page. I quite often seem to have my things. Now then, of course, you get to what we call the dashboard, and Civil Engineering Detailing and Modelling is right here, and we get them in there. And it's got turn editing on, so I've got the editing turned off, which is good. Half the time with my videos I have it turned on, and it can be a bit confusing. So we've got in here at session 1, but first up, I think this is an introduction to the course. So we're going to go here to, we'll look at Moodle afterwards. So we'll go into session 1 and we'll go down here, the session. Here's the session plan, and here's the session notes. Now, this is the session plan here, and it's just a plan of how we go, but it's actually included in the notes as well. So I'll just go back out of there. Now just remember to click out here rather than up there, so that you go back to Moodle. So this is the session notes here, and these are in the form of a PowerPoint, which is coming up here, and I think what we'll find is that it comes up on my second screen rather than on this screen here. So I'll just put that up there like that, and this is our PowerPoint. And then just go slideshow from the beginning, and there of course is our introduction already. So we've been through that session 1, and we're going to do the introduction. This is me, my Morris O'Neill. Just call me Mario. And that's my email address there at Wintec, and that's my cell phone number. So you're able to, with my cell phone number, you can text me, or you could call me. If I want to answer the phone, I will. If I don't want to, I won't. So it doesn't matter when you call. There's 7 days in a week, and as parts of those 7 days that I will available to take your call. If not, leave a message, or I'll get back to you. Quite often I'm a little bit forgetful, so if I'm in a meeting or something like that, I might turn my phone off, and then I forget to turn it on, and so I miss a few calls. But just leave a message, and I'll get back to you. Sometimes people ask for appointments and things like that, so I'll send out a calendar invite to a meeting, at a time that you might say, or at a time that I'm available, and we start negotiating from there. So yep, every channel communication's open. I'm also I have been known to be I'm available on Skype. I can do YouTube live YouTube things if that's what you want, and I have done conference sort of group calls on Skype into the to the hub at we're in Rotokauri hub, or into the city campus hub as well, into the computers there. So yep, we're open to all sorts of technologies and things like that, so that you can get the answers that you need as soon as we possibly can. Because, you know, if you need an answer, well, you need an answer to move ahead. So if I can, I will. If I can't, I won't. It's quite simple, really. All right, so let's move on. Now, this is the session plan that I talked about. Now, a session, I call it a session, but it's like a week. So it's what we do in a week. So in this session here today, we're going to, like I've probably got you know, we're going to sign at the class register and log into Moodle, obviously, and then we'll do the course intro. I'll do a little bit of work on Moodle, some work on the course diary, introduce you to that, and a brief project part 1 on the actual assessment associated with there. And there should be a little bit of time left at the end, but there may not be. I can go on a little bit, and so we may just finish it there, or you know, there might be a little bit of time at the end for you to actually start doing some actual work on the computers, project work. Now on we have a second class in the week, and in that class we'll come and sign the class register. Once I get to know who you all are, I can pretty much do the register without us having to sign any bits of paper. But it is very important that you let me know you're here, particularly if you're an international student, is because there is a little bit of follow-up from time to time with the international students there. So you know, make sure that if I've marked you present if you're there, or you know, let me know. So it's all pretty good. So that's the second one in the week of 2 hours. So you come in, and then I'll do a little intro to the there, so that we know class has started, and a bit of a Q&A. So if you've got any questions that have come out of the last class and the intervening time in between that, yeah, and then it's the time for the Q&A. Now you can send those questions through by email, text, or whatever, and I can put them into the Q&A, or get a response ready for you. So I mean, obviously I may not be able to answer some of your questions, so I might have to go away and answer them, come back with the next class, or the next time we meet. So questions are the lifeblood of learning. Question everything, and if you once you get the answers, that's when and you understand the answers, and you no longer have the question, that's what we could say that learning has occurred. And that's what we're trying to do here. So part 1, then you can go on and do some work, and yeah, and that's how it works. Now this is a fairly standard, this will be pretty standard for each session, each of the 15 sessions. As we get on, I'm probably going to have less and less to say. I'm hoping I have more questions and less information for me to rabbit on about. But anyway, moving right along. So the learning outcomes for this particular session here is you know, getting into it. So you want to have a holistic, which means that the big picture understanding of the course and the tutor expectations. There's what I want you to do, and I hope that I try to make my expectations as clear as possible, but sometimes that's not always the case. So you need to communicate, ask questions, and if you're unsure, ask more questions until you are sure exactly what needs to be done. Okay, now you should be able to, I'm going to hopefully you're all accessing the course Moodle workspace or Moodle site or course or whatever you want to call it, and you should have an overview of the course diary expectations, an overview of the whole project that we're doing. So we're just doing a single project, a subdivision project, which will become clearer as time goes on, and an overview definitely of part 1 of the project. And then you should have some understanding. You should go away from today certainly with plenty to do. Lots in front of you, that's for sure, but plenty to do, and understand what to do before the next session, which is essentially bring some questions and be ready to hit the ground running. I should say too, I guess, that a lot of the work that we're going to be doing is with video instruction, so you do need a good set of earphones or headphones to come, because you will all be watching different videos at the same time, different videos, so that can be a bit noisy if everyone's got the volume turned up too high. You can always turn on the closed captions, which is another way of doing it silently as well. So yes, that's the learning outcomes, what we're hoping that you'll take away at the end of this session. This is some of the information that you will have ingested. Okay, so the course outline. The course outline is provided in the Moodle course, and I will, at the end of this PowerPoint, I will go through the Moodle and I'll have a look at the course outline in more detail at that time. So the course outline is available on Moodle, and we will be talking through there. Now, just an overall view of the course. It's a 15 credit course at level 6. I think level 6. Yes, it's at level 6. So that means you're quite your learning. You should be quite independent with your learning, in the sense that you won't have too much stuff given to you. You should be seeking out new information and interpreting it and finding it. So it's just really a matter of giving you the sort of guidelines or what I want, and then we'll work through that at the end. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit. So the course is 15 credits at 10 hours per credit in New Zealand. In line with a lot of other international agencies. 10 hours per credit, that's 150 hours. So the course that you've bought or signed on to here, we're expecting 150 good solid hours of your time over 15 weeks. So that's roughly 10 hours per week, 150 hours. Now, theory, or in the classroom, we've got 4 hours per week. We've got 2 2-hour classes. 4 hours times 15, 60 hours is what we've got. 60 hours in total. Okay. And, all right, so that's what we call directed learning, really, where you're in here with the tutor in the classroom. It's sort of directed learning, or scheduled, I call it. 60 hours, 4 hours per week. So that means that self-directed or unscheduled time, 90 hours per week, or 90 hours for the course, 6 hours per week. Now, some of that unscheduled time is directed because I have a fair amount of resource and teaching on Moodle. So, I mean, quite easily I could see at least an hour or 2 hours of that time would be per week would be involved with the engagement with the Moodle course or workspace that you've got here, and the materials that are there, or other materials on YouTube that are in whose direction I have pointed you. All right, so that's sort of the overall how the course fits together, and there'll be a little bit more on that a bit later on. Okay, so engagement. Oops, is that what we... So yes, so one of the things that we're looking for here is engagement. Now this particular course, it's the way that I've structured it, it's a project. So you're going to be working on a subdivision, a 30-lot subdivision, and you're going to be drawing a set of plans that will enable that subdivision to be built from greenfield. Okay, now that's going to require a certain amount of engagement with that material. Engagement means it becomes part of you. You're thinking about it all the time. You're working with it and that sort of thing. So you can't. This is not the sort of course where you're going to come along here for 4 hours and fiddle about and do a bit of stuff and that have you. It's going to take a fair amount of your time to do it properly. Now, the way that I see this course is that you will come out of this course, hopefully, with a set of plans and a report that's sufficient for a subdivision to be built. It's not going to be an actual subdivision because you're going to create the surface yourself and make it yourself. It's not when I'm not going to give you an area. You're going to create your own area, which is really going to make you think about what's going to make your job easy and simple and the best area. And let me tell you, I've attempted this, and it's not as easy as you would think. That comes. You find that out as you go along, as I did. I thought it would be relatively easy, and I have a reasonable amount of experience with this sort of thing. But no, there's a few things I would definitely do different if I was doing this for the second time, and that's where this engagement comes in. You engage. Now, the other thing that I'm hoping is that you will have a set of plans that you are very proud of, that I am impressed with, and that are at a very professional standard. Because these are example of your work, I believe that you will be carrying around with you and shopping around to various employers so that you can get the best job possible at the highest possible salary. So the better, the more effort you put into this and the better the product that you get out of it, that's going to pay dividends for you well into the future. So, don't be thinking, oh, well, I'll just do 50% is all I need. Yeah, you'll get the bit of paper, but you won't have anything to show for it. And if you did show what you produced to an employer, it would probably, wouldn't impress, it wouldn't get you a job, and it wouldn't get you the best job. So if you want to be in there competing for the best job, well, you need to have good product to take with you, and that's what I'm hoping that this project will do, and that has certainly been the case in the past. There's not only the spin-off with this project, but the skills learnt here have been applied to your capstone project that you do as well. So that's certainly the way it is. So this engagement, it needs to be the best you've ever done. And I know some of you get right into it and really engage with it. Well, you've got to keep that level up, and if you haven't been at that level before, you need to get yourself into that mode to get the maximum out of this. I can't see, if you attend classes and do the work, it's pretty difficult to. I can't see how you could fail this course, but getting over 50, just getting between 50 and 60%. It's passing the course, but it's not maximising your potential in any way whatsoever. You need to be up in the 80s or 90s to get the most out of it, and that's what we're looking for with engagement. Okay, now successful student behaviours that come from engagement. So I've observed a number of students over a number of years, and I think you can pretty much tell after about 2 or 3 weeks what the level of engagement is, and what degree of success students are going to have. It's a sort of an attitude thing, and it comes to the fore generally. And in most percentage of cases, we're pretty right. We try to motivate people to go beyond where we think they're going to go, but invariably, sometimes they meet the early expectations. So successful student behaviours. Well, here's some things that you don't need any talent. 10 things that require 0 talent. So these are things that anyone can do. So being on time, working hard, putting in a good effort, having a positive body language. Doesn't take any talent. It's falling asleep obviously doesn't take any talent either, but that's not good body language. So and energy, you need high energy. Bring a lot of energy to the fore. And a positive attitude. You need to be thinking, well, I'm going to do good. And passion, you want to really go for it. So the subdivision thing, you want to be looking around, perhaps driving out to a couple, looking on Google at what other people have done, a lot of research in that, following the design process. This is engineering design process. So you do work out what the problem is, do a bit of research, look at some concepts, probably more than one, find out which one you're going to develop, and so on and so on and so on. Being coachable, so you need to be able to ask questions and take advice, and that doesn't require any talent. Doing extra doesn't require any talent. It requires a lot of extra time, but talent, no. So these are things that everybody can do, and if you make a point of doing these things and being prepared, well, seeing with this Moodle site, you've got just about, you can see what's going to be happening in next week, pretty much. The way that I've structured it is that I've got the 2016 stuff there, which is not going to be too much change a few dates and tweak a few little things, but essentially be the same. So you can get a pretty good idea what's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks' time, actually, if you want to go ahead. So by all means, you can forge on way ahead of what I'm proposing here. So that's all very good. So successful student behaviours. Evidence. It's all about the evidence. So it doesn't matter how good you are at, turning on a computer and exchanging files and all those sort of things. If there's no evidence of that, it's you don't get full benefit. I'm watching you. I can see how good you are and all those sort of things. But there's people looking over my shoulder that if I say you're an A student, they're going to say, well, where's the evidence? I saw him do this. Not good enough. We need written evidence, and that's partly what my job is to try and get you to format the evidence in such a way that it shows your talent, your true talent, and shows that you are an A+ student. Because there are other people there that will be, as I say, looking over my shoulder and wanting to see the evidence. So the evidence must be formal. There are some observational ones that I can do, but again, it must be in a formal situation, and I must sort of sign and write notes and things about it. So it's very important that you focus on collecting the evidence, and everything you do in this course or for the project is evidence. If you go and talk to somebody, put it in your diary, it's evidence. If you take photographs, put it in your diary or collect them together and for your report, it's evidence. Talk to people. All of these things are evidence, so you need to be working on ways to collect it and get it all together so you get maximum benefit from what you do. So evidence is very important. You must have good evidence. Okay, so the project itself, we've got one project, 5 parts, and 15 weeks. Okay, so we're all going to do it as one project, a subdivision project. It's going to be in 5 parts. There's the surface, the earthworks, the roading, the drainage, the reporting, and all that comes together at the end to bring it together. And the presentation, there's a little bit of a presentation involved as well. All of these things are covered. So one project, 5 parts, 15 weeks. That's how long you've got. So the first part is the surface, and you're going to create your own surface on which we work. And it's important that you create a surface that does work. As I said, I've attempted this assignment myself, and I thought I had the U-Butte surface, but as it turns out, when I came to try and get the drainage out of the middle of it, I needed to tweak a few things a little bit and do a few compromises to get it to work. So it's important that the surface. So that's the first part. The second part is the layout and the earthworks. Although the layout greatly affects the surface and how that works. So you sort of have to develop those together in parallel. The earthworks is a little bit contrived in some ways, but we do need to have some evidence of doing volumes and that sort of thing. So this will all become clear when we go through and do it. Roading. So once we've got our earthworks sorted, and then we start working on our roading, which then in itself generates further earthworks in the sense that we've got to mesh the roading into our surface so that we can, everything fits together. We have houses that hopefully sit above the road and drain to the road if possible. Not always possible, but we have to consider these things. All right. Drainage. So for the subdivision, we need to have stormwater, sanitary sewer, and water. The 3 waters. And in this particular project, we're going to be doing everything is going to be reticulated. So we're not going to be worrying about detention and soakage and things like that. We're going to have reticulated stormwater, water, and sanitary sewer to every lot on the proposed subdivision. We're just keeping it very, very simple. Very simple. Don't make it too complex, because that complexity will cost you time, concern, and worry later on. So just keep it very simple. If you follow my simple rules, you will get to the end reasonably well. If you try and make things complex, it's going to take you more time. So you're going to need more time, more than the 150 hours. So I thoroughly recommend that you talk a lot to me and don't try and do anything too complicated. Just keep it very simple. And then the final part of the project is getting the evidence together and putting that together. So you're going to have a plan set, which is a set of plans, a schedule of quantities. So this is how much of everything, how much pipe, how much curb, how much road, surface, topsoil stripping, earthworks moving, off-site, on-site, all of these things. And that will all be put together, and then you'll have to cost that schedule. You'll cost it out, and we'll provide you with some figures and stuff on that. And that will all be put together into a report together with your diary. And I'm hoping to incorporate some project management sort of things into this particular project, or at least try and keep a track of the tasks and keep you working forward and finding out what you're going to do. So that will be incorporated into the diary in some stages. This is sort of in beta mode, if you so I'm trying to incorporate a degree of project management into the project and incorporate that into the assessment a little bit later on. Okay, is your diary up to date? So obviously each session I will be nagging you like a mother-in-law, is your diary up to date? Because a diary is no good if you just fill it in one day at the end of 15 weeks. It's got to be done weekly, and I'm hoping to try and have a weekly meeting with each of you during the course of our sessions, and in those sessions I will hopefully be looking at your diaries to see if you've got stuff in it, what you've got coming up, what you've got planned, and that sort of thing. So it's an important project management tool that we'll be using in this thing. And now software. All right, now I don't, as a client, I just want a set of plans generally that are suitable for the subdivision, for me to build my subdivision, or the contractor to build my subdivision. So I don't care if you do them by hand or with Word or 12D, AutoCAD or whatever. So I know some of you have skills in all sorts of programs. So if you want to use 12D, that's fine with me. I'm producing a set of videos that work you through the 12D thing, and I've got the drainage to do. I got everything up to the roading done on the last course, and I'm hoping to get the drainage done. Hoping to. Though I didn't get it done last time, but students then had to use the resources there to do that for themselves, and a lot of them did. Amongst the group of students, they did a pretty good job with that, and some of them have actually gone on to be working using 12D, doing doing drainage, 3 waters type calculations. So the skills are there amongst the group, and that worked out pretty well. So we've got 12D, which is only available in the CAD room, and I will be talking to security to make sure that you've got access to the CAD room in all sorts of hours. So I will be just getting on to that hopefully this week. I would have hopefully done it this week and put through to security. It would pay for you to check that you can get access. Don't rely on there being access, and if you can't, send me an email and I will get it reloaded or confirmed. Okay, now AutoCAD Civil 3D is an AutoCAD product, so as Wintec students, you should be aware that you can download AutoCAD, and you may have done that, but AutoCAD Civil 3D is also available to you for free download. However, it's not available in the CAD room. So if you wanted to do your project with Civil 3D, you would need to be doing that on your own device, and you would have to bring your device to the CAD room to do it. Now, the best way to do it, obviously, you would need a twin screens or dual screen setup, which you probably have. So, but that's not possible in the CAD room with the monitors that we have here. Not without some quite specialist sort of equipment and things like that to use. I haven't actually seen anyone use the monitors here attached directly to a laptop. So you would be just in here using a laptop. But that's the situation with software. There are other softwares around that some of you may use. I don't know. That's fine as long as you spit out the product that we're looking for. So yeah, that's the software solution there. Okay, now the project itself, or the surface we're going to do, I have done a separate briefing for the surface one, but it's the part one of the project. It's the surface. You need a minimum of 4 meters height variation across the surface, so a minimum of 4 meters from the lowest point to the highest point. You want the boundaries defined, survey control and coordinates, quite important, with datums, and enough for 20 to 30 lots. What I recommend in my videos is that you sort out a layout first and then fit your surface to that layout, so that will best the best contour solution for your layout, and I talk about that in the videos. So enough for 20 to 30 lots. You'll need, obviously it'll come off an existing road, so at some point that you're going to have a bit of an existing road, which would be part of your topo. Obviously, if it exists, the topo picks up everything that exists, so that needs to be in there. Now, you'll also need your typical cross-section and your existing services as well. All need to be available so that you can work on it. But this, again, is all better sorted out in the briefing and in the videos that I go through. So, and you need to have it contoured like so. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of a scatter word mind map of the surface, just to remind you. So 4 meters height variation, boundaries defined, survey control, existing services, typical cross section. So what I'm recommending is that your existing road has the same typical cross section as all your new roads. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things, otherwise you'll live to regret it, believe me. Okay, so that's the surface there. Now, before next Friday, or before Friday, which is the next class you have, I think on the Friday morning, or before the next class anyway, review the course material. Just have a good ruffle around in the Moodle site. I've got some 2016 plans there, which I'll show you in a minute. They have a good look at those, see what it is that you're trying to do, what success looks like, and also start sketching up some layouts of lots and things like that. Now, I go through that in some of the early videos that I'll show you, so you might want to watch those videos, and then that'll give you some hints on to how to sketch up the layouts. Now, if you're sketching up the layouts, do them on a nice Wintec formatted piece of paper, not on some scratchy bit of book, or in a bit of a book or something like that. Remember, everything you do is evidence. You want to do it as tidily as you can, and keep the evidence, quite formal. So, even if it's scribbly stuff, and you'll see some of my spidery work there as well. So, but keep it on a nice tidy format, and then, the more you try, the easier it'll get. Okay, and so what's new in Moodle? So let's, what we're going to do now is go and have a look at Moodle and just see where all the stuff is. So I'll just escape from here because I'm in Moodle. Probably just, I think I'll just drop that down. And yeah, here we are in Moodle. So this is the video that we've been making here, the session plan, the session notes there that we had up. In here, you have a whole series of resources down through here. that show you. These ones are various ones on how to use 12D. Now there's two 12 suppliers of 12D training. There's 12D model itself, and there's another outfit that does it as well. I've EDS, I think they're called. So there's two websites that give you information on 12D, and I'll probably refer to it at different. You'll see it in here at various things. So there's lots of various bits and pieces in here. Here's some ideas on. That's the calculation sheet. So, do some of your stuff on that, or make your own calculation sheet if you want. There's various little bits of resource in here that relate to surfaces and so on there. So that's quite important there. Now, I talked about some example plans from last year. So 2014. I haven't got them here. I've got them here. Okay, now in here, this is session 1. Our resources here is just a repeat of, that's all the report, of some standards and some manuals there, drawing standards. Hamilton City infrastructure drawing standards. These here are various ones. NZS 4404 has lots of subdivision information in it. These are some drawing standards here. So as you know, everything works to standards. So again, there's some information, resources there. Do have a look through that, see what you get. These are the Hamilton City Council technical specifications for the engineering side of things here. The district plan, of course, you need to work through the district plan as well, which will give you some ideas with regards to the size of sections and things like that. Possibly won't be in here, it'll be in the district plan itself, but they're all on the Hamilton City Council website. So you need to be there in those, and a lot of these resources here. So that's session 1 there. And I've put some of the resources are repeated here as well. But in here, in the subdivision design, under here, I've got a series of videos that take you from woe to go and show you how to do the layout and how to get your surface going and what have you. So there's quite a little bit of in there, getting your scheme plan drawn in AutoCAD, all sorts of things. So if you follow through these here, this will take you right through everything, right up to the road. Well, most of it anyway. I've still got a few little bits and pieces to sort out from there, but it's a bit of a work in progress. But if you look in here, you'll see that this is a set of plans that I've got up to that point. So here's your first plan. Here is your existing plan. That's what you go out in the field and find. So you can see here that this has got it's explained a lot better in the briefing for stage 1. So that's your topo, and you've got a survey plan here. All right. And then you've got your layout here with your typical cross sections, curb and channel. I've got a bit of a section module there. So what I've done here with my one here is I decided on my layout, and then I tried to fit my surface that I'm creating to the layout. Now what I've generally done is I've tried to get the houses so that the houses sit above the road. Now that was a little bit tricky around here, obviously, because otherwise you have a strong ridge line through there. But I've sort of got it through here and up through here. Houses are up above the road. Now the problem I had is that this road here rises up through there. Remember that we've got to have 4 meters of So I've got that road rising up through there. I've got this road rising up through here. But what I have to do is I have to drop, because of the crossfall of the road, I have to drop down off this road and then bring this back up. Now that put a bit of a low area down in here. But that was all very good. But then when I came to want to get drainage and stormwater out of here, became a bit tricky because I had a low spot in here and I had to get obviously my drains and pipes. So yeah, that's something I hadn't sort of anticipated when I did my layout and then did my surface, and then I had to work on that surface. So if I was doing things again, I'd probably maybe make this somehow try and get this coming up more harder, or more quickly. But it's something to bear in mind that when you come off here, you've got to come off at the camber of the road, otherwise people travelling along here are going to hit a big bump. So yeah, we've got to get that in around there. And just remember, everything comes off the centre lines. So there's coming through, that's the layout, and there's our earthworks. We're required to do a topsoil stockpile and a unsuitable excavation. So that's the preliminary earthworks. Here's our roading details. Everything works off the centre line. So coming round through there, and the geometry of these curves and that, they must have the correct geometry to make them work. So you can't just use any old line. And then there's the long section. I've only done a long section of road 1, so I need to get road 2. These are all generated by the software and then tidied up in AutoCAD. These are cross sections that are along the road every 20 metres, or every 20 metres, yeah, along that road. And that's as far as I've got with what I have done with my videos, and I am intending to go a little bit further and get into the drainage and what have you. So I think we can drop that down from there. So that's those videos there. If you follow those through, they'll take you through, but it's a bit slow to start with, getting the layout and all that sort of organised and what have you, and then working on your surface. But yep, it can be done. So there are videos there. There's the resources. Session 1 and Session 2 go through. Tech Talk is just a little bit of little things that might be helpful. Setting up your flash drive, labelling screenshots, posting files on mirror forms and things like that, which I can put in there. And there's a little thing here on teamwork that may or may not be of some use to you, but this is sort of an individual pursuit in some ways. So we're going to do it that way. So that's pretty much our Moodle. That's what we had there. And just finally, let's have a look at the course outline. We've been going 48 minutes, so yeah, thanks. This page takes a long time to load. You can see it's grinding away up here. Here it is here. So this is the forum, the news forum in here. This is where I send out all my epistles, or whatever you want to call them, from here. So I've sent out one to you saying the Moodle site is up already. So that's where you can find them. So if you find you don't think you're getting the emails, you can always come here and find them, and then you've got to go through this grinding wait. Now also here we've got the course outline. So I'll get that up and go through that, and that should just about finish us up for this video. And you should have a lot of questions, so I can answer those at the end. So civil engineering, detailing and modelling, course outline, here we go. So there's the course outline, which I have given you a hard copy of. You should have seen these before. This is your tutor, that's me, all my contact details. Program coordinator is Aidan Bigham, and team leader is Trudy Harris. So if you want to, complain about the things I'm getting you to do, first port of call's Aidan, and then if you think you want to take it further, Trudy, and then you can go up to Shelley Wilson if you want. But my preference is that if you've got an issue, come and see me. I haven't ever got upset with anyone that I'm aware of. That I thought that I have, but I thought I did a pretty good job of hiding it. So come and see me and have a talk. Can take it if you're not happy or things like that. Chances are I'll probably agree with you. There are some things of the course that I'm working on and trying to improve. And if nobody sort of points them out to me, I just think, oh, perhaps they don't know. So, important that we have feedback, and I am hoping to have at least one session with you, one-on-one each week. Right, so now moving right along, I've gone through the course here, level 6, 15 credits, 150 hours. What's in it? I think we've covered that. This is the weekly schedule. So intro here is what we're doing in this particular video. On the surface, I've done a project. Well, I will do the project briefing after this. Might be time for a little bit of work. And then part 1, and then you've got another thing, and then part 1 is due on this Monday here. Now, as I said, that's just a milestone. You could aim for that. There's a lot of work in getting the layouts right, and it's important that you get the layout, very right to start with. Otherwise, it causes problems further down the track. So you may find that you're actually coming into some of this area here as well. But we can talk about that. We need to know where you're at and what you're doing as you move along, and then leaves a little bit of time for the roading. But as you'll see, there are milestones, and you can come back and revisit them, update them. As you learn stuff down here, you can fix things up back here. So these, as I say, are milestones. The one true deadline is this one here, 20th of November. That's when I want everything there. That's when I do the 100%. And you'll see how I do the marking. It's quite progressive. I have an overall sheet for the whole thing for each person. So we can do little components as we go along so that you've got a fairly good idea of how you're tracking and where you're at and what you can do to optimize your mark return. I'm hoping that everyone, is up around the 80, 90 there. But, sometimes life gets in the way. So we've got to, if we can communicate and deal with that's going to be good. Okay. All right, so that's the assessment schedule. I think you've seen that previously in there. It's all there with the various, as I say, milestones. So they're quite flexible. There's no marks off, and you can go back at any time and update, fix, amend, or improve your marks, which is, with this sort of work, is how it is in the workplace. Pass requirements. Must obtain overall grade of 50 cents or better to pass the course, and attempt all assessments. So you must attempt every assessment. That's why, and these are the parts here, the assessment parts. So you must have a go at all of them. You can't get 100% there, 100% there, and 100% there. That's 55, and then stop. It's the whole thing. You've got to attempt the other ones in here. Okay, past requirements, learning outcomes, structural drawings, and concrete, steel, timber, roading and drainage there. So that's mostly what we're working in, roading and drainage. These other things are, in a sense, roading and drainage is incorporated into any of these other disciplines anyway. If you think of a building, you've got to get a road there, you've got to get into it, you've got to get the water in, the water out in and out, and what have you. So steel, timber, and concrete. There's little bits in there, but even when you're doing those, you've still got to consider these other things. So I'm focusing mostly on roading and drainage with these ones. Understand the role of computer-based information systems, modelling and visualisation in the design and management of civil engineering projects. So modelling, design, and use software packages to explore aspects of a civil engineering project. So previously you would have used AutoCAD to do your drawing and all the calculations in there in a sort of almost a manual sort of way, really. Now you're going to start use modelling software, and you'll hopefully see some of the benefits of that when you're able to draw, like for instance the long sections and the cross sections. They're all sort of generated out of the program, so you don't have to do them, and it tidied up in AutoCAD. So your AutoCAD skills will come into play. Attendance, I think you can read that there, and you should know. Communication is king. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Let me know. If you're not going to be there, send me a text. You've got my text. If you're ill, let me know. Send me a text, an email, give me a ring, or whatever. I can give you advice so that your illness is covered, and we know about it, and we can allow for it. Let me know, and let your teammates or other classmates know, especially if they're relying on you for something, or I can tell them or whatever. Assignments and reports must be handed in. I'll have to change that. I change that to 11:59 p.m. on the due date. But remember, they're just milestones and what have you. So yeah, we can work with that there. Late assignments may incur a loss of 10% of the total mark per working day after the due date. Plagiarism, be very, very careful. Don't copy other people's work, particularly digital data and stuff like that. You need to be very careful with that and getting that done. Don't leave your stuff lying around. Other people can photograph it and copy it. Now, if it turns out that there's two people with the same bits of information, and we look at it, both of you are going to have some problems. The person who original work it is may come out unscathed, will come out unscathed, but possibly quite stressed. So there are people around, as I said, if you leave your reports around, that will photograph your stuff or photograph your screen or that sort of thing. So be very, very careful what you do around other people. Don't lend your stuff to other people. They just copy it and submit it as their own. So that's very important, that you be not only aware of where you're getting your own stuff from and what have you, but what other people might be doing with your intellectual property. So that stuff that you've put your hard work in, and if you start finding, as I said, other people are copying your work, let me know, and we'll have to do something about it. But best thing is to not let it happen at all by taking reasonable precautions, because as I said, you may come out the other end unscathed, but it'll be a very stressful experience for you and me, and the other people as well. So that's the course outline. We've gone through that, and I think that's pretty much coming up for an hour now, which is quite a long time, a lot of information there. So let's call it a day there. This is a great opportunity to work and come up with a marvelous project and set of plans that could be very useful in getting yourself into a good job that you really want, and is going to really move your career ahead in leaps and bounds. So I look forward to working with you on this project, and yeah, all the best. Cheers. See you.